Once upon a time, there was an old house that sat at the edge of a small town. The house had been abandoned for many years, and most people in the town avoided it, believing it to be haunted. One day, a young family moved into the house. They had been searching for an affordable home for a long time, and the old house was the only one they could afford. The family consisted of a mother, a father, and their 2 children, a boy and a girl. The family spent their first few weeks in the house cleaning it up and making repairs. They found a lot of strange things in the house, like old furniture and paintings, but they didn't pay much attention to them. One day the children were playing hide-and-seek when the boy decided to hide in the attic. As he was searching for a hiding spot, he noticed a strange shadow in the corner of the room. At first he thought it was just his imagination, but as he looked closer, he realized that it was a real shadow. The boy called out to his sister, and together they investigated the shadow. They found that it was coming from an old trunk that was covered in dust and cobwebs. They opened the trunk and found a collection of old photographs and letters. As they looked through the old items, they discovered that the house had once belonged to a family who had disappeared under mysterious circumstances. The letters spoke of a dark presence that had haunted the family and driven them away. The children were terrified, but their parents dismissed the story as an old wives' tale. However, strange things started to happen in the house. Doors would open and close by themselves, and strange noises could be heard at night. The boy and the girl were convinced that the shadow in the attic was responsible for the strange occurrences. They decided to investigate further and discovered a hidden door behind a bookshelf. Inside, they found an old diary that belonged to the previous owner of the house. The diary spoke of a dark entity that had been summoned by a previous owner of the house. The entity had taken over the house and driven the family away, leaving it abandoned for years. The family realized that they were in danger and decided to leave the house. As they packed up their belongings, they noticed that the shadow in the attic had disappeared. They left the house, never to return again. Years later, the old house still stood at the edge of the small town, abandoned and forgotten. The shadow in the attic remained a mystery, a Remy.